Sorry about that, everyone. I had to change my microphone settings this weekend, and obviously it was picking up the wrong mic. So, the opening links are in there. Check out all the stuff. Thanks to our sponsors, Mage Hand Press and Bird and Storm Publishing. Check out the tweet, retweet the tweet. Thank you very much. This has been the most crash landing start to a show I've done in a while. Welcome, everyone. I have no idea what was going on there. Like, literally, we started the stream, and it just tanked straight off the bat. Hopefully it'll stay stable now. Anyway, let's go around and say hello to everyone, starting with our wonderful DM, Danielle. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. My name's Danielle, and I will be your Dungeon Master this evening. And I guess we will continue going around. Everybody gets to say who they're playing, so we'll go to CJ next.
Hello, I am Oxy the Fighter. I'll trench coat it out and all down here. You probably will know me from 0d20.com, or possibly if you follow me on Twitter, Crazy J. That's about that. I don't know. I do things. I do mobile things, I do community things, and I talk a lot on Twitter, and I rant a lot on Twitter. The usual. Hi.
Thank you. And next up is Holly.
Oh, hi. I'm Holly. I'm Sage Ophelia on Twitter and here. I'm here every Tuesdays, and that's about all I'm doing right now. It's super relaxing and amazing. I am playing Decadence of the Crystalline Cove, a very posh Dragonborn paladin who sometimes potentially turns sort of a blind eye towards the various misdeeds of my two compatriots. But if I'm not around to protect them, who will be? I mean, honestly, it would just be worse if I wasn't there.
Next would normally be Ren. However, they are having a day, so they are not with us. And so we will continue on to Scrat if you want to introduce your character.
Oh, hi. I'll be playing Burback L'Orealian. They're a bit of a, they're just a nice person, really. They don't do anything really to harm anyone. They were a little bit surprised to find that Cadence had a lot of money last session. But, it's fine. The scam worked well anyway, so we'll carry on. Let's go and meet some cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you all recall, at the end of last session, after you enacted your your traveler's trinket scheme on the poor unsuspecting merchant in the city of Brass.
Unfortunate soul.
Yeah. When you came out, we were in the middle of a very touching moment where Ashen was giving Cadence a beautiful little locket when Ashen spotted her cousin, the one she had been looking for out in the wilderness in the wastelands when you originally met her. And her cousin saw you, and bolted. And that is where we are going to pick up.
Are we in a chase scene?
You are in a chase scene.
Excellent, because I'm quite stealthy with my clanking armor as I charge after people. I don't just make a scene.
You don't need to be stealthy, just fast.
Oh, so yes. I am going to need to know what everyone's speed is.
30?
20.
Oh no.
It would be 25, but reasons.
30.
Okay.
But I do have rogue double dash.
That's good. That will help.
Yeah.
Okay. And Oxy, you said yours is 25 or 20?
Mine's 20.
Nice.
It would be 25, but the archetype takes away some to make up for other things.
Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have everyone roll initiative, and we will sort of go in initiative order. You can tell me if there are actions you want to take while you are pursuing Ashen's cousin. So if everyone will go ahead and give me an initiative. Oh, look at that.
I don't want to move.
Look at that.
Now that's a spread.
Hi.
Hello up there from High Initiative World. Here, just stumbling over my romantic intrigue.
Let me see here. I'm going to do my GM rolls in the open right now because I am traveling and don't have dice. So,
I'll just roll for you. Oh, it's a 1. Interesting.
okay. Well, this is only a +1, so it could be 1 for all I know. Oh, look at that!
Oh no.
Oh wait, that's for a Shen, right? You still have to roll for the cousin.
The dice are hot.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Okay. I actually do need to roll again. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to do +2. All right, it's gonna.
Okay. If that's another one, and if it's for a Shen, we better just be doing that. Oh, I didn't just get.
I know it's
Okay.
my cousin and everything, but
It's when you do a natural one in this case is when you're doing that dance in the street, you're trying to avoid the other person, like go.
they both go to run at the same time. Their hands make contact. There's a long moment.
It's funny you should bring that up, because we are going to have obstacles in this chase. So, Burback, you are first. At this point, this running Afridi is about 80 feet away from you. What do you want to do?
Damn it! I used 2 spell slots.
Oh no.
I have nothing useful. No, wait, hang on. I can take some like leaves out of the critical roll book, maybe. I'm going to first of all use a bonus action to dash 60 feet, so they're now only 20 feet away from me.
Cool. Yeah, you put on a nice burst of speed to get closer.
Then I would like to cast Mage Hand and like grab their hair or a horn or an ankle, something. Just grab them.
Okay. All right. So I believe Mage Hand does have a weight limit.
It
on
does.
It does.
10
I'm not-
pounds, yeah.
I'm not looking, to be clear, I'm not looking to hold them. I just want to like pull them
Slow them
off
down?
balance.
Wait,
yeah, like
You have the rogue's mage hand?
I don't. I'm not an arcane.
Oh, okay.
But like just like, you know, a trip, maybe a pulling them off balance so they stagger into a market stall. You know,
Okay.
like not directly opposing their momentum, but just like yeah, let's put 10 pounds of force going right into that lamppost. That'd be great.
Make me a spell attack roll. So give me a d20 roll with your spell attack bonus.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do I have any that happen to match that? No, of course I don't. Okay. I literally have no spells that have attack rolls. Okay, cool. I'll just roll it the good old-fashioned way.
All right. Oh, 27. Very nice. Okay. So, up ahead of you, you see this mystical, metaphysical hand just grab onto the collar of this Afridi shirt and start trying to pull him back. It seems to be slowing him down a little bit. But definitely not a lot. So it is helping. And so far, it doesn't seem to have pulled him off balance, but you can continue to pull on him and perhaps manage that on a later turn. So it is actually his turn next. So he continues to run. And he just puts on another burst of speed. So he will get, let me see what he has here. I'm thinking, we'll say with your mage hand slowing him down, he manages to put 90 feet of distance.
Zippy.
Between you. He is very zippy. But that is his whole action. That's all he's really doing. He's just trying to get away.
Damn.
So, next up is going to be Oxy.
Well, what I'm going to do is just run, because I can't dash based on the archetype. I can't do anything like that. So I'm just going to run, and I'm going to check. I'm going to get my crossbow up and going. I'm not going to try and kill. It's a cousin. Okay. We know the person. That's not nice.
Okay.
Please get it up and loaded, because maybe a shot in the foot will slow them down, or something like hit a cart up ahead and slow them down. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, you have options. So you are still in the market. There are tons of merchant stalls and such things nearby. So do you want to use your whole action to dash, or do you want to just move your movement and then try to take a shot at something?
Gonna move my movement and then try to take a shot, because I don't think I can dash based on what's going on right now. The archetype setup. So yeah, balance is a thing. Balance is very much a thing.
Okay.
So I will attempt a shot at a cart ahead of the cousin to try and make a spill to hopefully help.
Yeah.
Slowing down.
Go for it.
Okay. Come on, bro. There we go. 9 to hit.
Let me see. So you're trying to hit a cart, which is not going to have a very high AC. So I will 9 to hit. I'm gonna say that's a miss, but only barely. So yeah, you just sort of skim the edge of a cart. You can hear sort of a thunk, and you see some wood go flying, but it wasn't quite enough to punch a hole in the side of the cart or open a latch or anything like that.
Oh, good. The
cabbages
cabbages
very
are
close.
safe.
Okay, so Oxy does that. Oxy moves forward a little bit, raises their crossbow and shoots. It is Ashen's turn next, and Ashen, being an Afridi, is also very fast. So Ashen is just going to make a break for it. She will actually get past you, Burback.
Damn, these people are being so quick.
They are very quick. And Burback, actually, make a perception check for me, just for funsies.
Yep, sorry, momentarily forgot how to use my character sheet. I see through time and space.
So yeah, you can see as she goes past you, she's not really running. She's almost sort of flying or hovering in some fashion as she zooms past you.
Does she have a set of the shoes that we just bought?
No,
what?
no,
I'm sorry.
not.
What?
So you're not sure what this is.
Buying with goodwill is still buying.
Unless you know something about Afridi, which we could roll for if you would like.
No, I'll just throw it straight out there that Burback knows nothing about Afridi.
Yeah, so she takes off, and you hear her shouting, "Calic, come back here!" And he looks over his shoulder and then, keeps going. Cadence.
Look, I didn't really know how to pursue people, except to hurt them. So I would like to move forward my 30 feet.
Yep.
And I'm going to try to hurl a javelin, preferably to sort of clothesline, potentially in a building right in front of him, so he stops right on it. But if I'm not really in the position, just sort of right at his shoulder.
I'd say angle-wise, you're probably not going to be able to get it right in front of him. If you wanted to spend if you wanted to dash and spend another turn dash, you could probably get into position to do it. But where you are right now, you're still a little bit at a rough angle for that. It's going down the street.
Just try to hit him.
Thank
It will
you
be at
very
long.
much, Kentucky Hawkeye, for that raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you.
Thank you. It is going to be at long range. I don't remember if that's a minus or a disadvantage.
It would be disadvantage if it's at long range.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
Okay, that's still really good. So you are going to hit him.
Yay!
So roll me some damage. 9. Okay.
Sorry, if you could just stop, we could stop chasing you. Just be reasonable for a moment. I don't want to do that again. Pulls out another javelin.
I don't want to do that again.
So did the javelin hit him or?
Yeah, the javelin hit him.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I was checking to make sure he didn't have any
Kill
resistance
them.
or anything.
You don't die from a shoulder wound, and if you do, I can bring you back from unconsciousness.
Yeah, so you see your javelin hits him right in, probably more like the back of his arm almost. And you hear him let out a very sharp intake of breath, even from all this distance away, as if, he gets hit. All right, at this point, the cart that Oxy hit with their crossbow lets out a very loud creaking noise, and then the wood where they damaged it gives way. Finally, it was a little bit of a delayed reaction, and everything in that cart topples out onto the ground. I'm gonna say, just for the sake of fun, that this is like watermelons, almost some type of melon or fruit. So
They're
fairly
happy
big.
dolls.
Yeah, fairly big, about yay big around, are now bowling ball sized, basically rolling on the ground. So definitely going to reduce movement speeds for folks on this round. We'll probably make dexterity saving throws for anyone who wants to continue to chase. And starting with you, Burback.
I will make that dexterity saving throw.
All right. You will pass.
Okay, cool. So then I will again use only one bonus action to move 60 feet.
Okay.
Because if they were already slowed and moved 90 feet, I know there's no way I can catch them unless I pretty much stop them. I would like to be a tricksy rogue / tricksy bard. I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery and say, your shoelace is untied.
As one does.
DC 17 Wisdom save or 25 points of damage. Oh, no, wait, hang on. No sneak attack on that. Just 5 points of damage. Sorry, can we recap over the last? I think people lost maybe the last minute or so.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's see. Going back. So we have Calic, the Ifriti is basically flying away, more or less, hovering. Cadence hit him with a javelin to the shoulder. Oxy shot a crossbow bolt at a cart, which had a little bit of a delayed effect in that at the end of the round, the cart burst open and dropped bowling ball sized melons onto the ground. They are now everywhere. Burback tried to use Vicious Mockery to do a little bit of damage, but that did not work. And so now we are up to Calic's turn. When I was just saying that he was going to pull this javelin out of his arm and drop it. And so he now has a wound and the mage hand pulling on the back of his shirt to try to slow him down. So he will only get another 70 feet out of his dash. Definitely slowing him down for sure. And that will take us to Oxy.
All right. Let's run forward as far as I can get, just because I don't want to lose pace with this person who can run really fast. I'm not going to catch them, but that's okay.
Sure.
Seeing what Cadence is doing, though, I can't do any worse if I try and shoot for their leg.
Not at all.
At least then I can take the blame of their damage, and you can still get in good with the cousin. So here we go.
You're at this point still a good 160, 170 feet away from him. So if that impacts your whatever it is that you're about to do.
Shoot, so that probably puts me at a disadvantage to try and hit him.
Depending on the weapon, yeah.
I believe in you.
Yay, let's try this. Ooh, let's not.
My belief was misplaced.
All right. So you fire another crossbow bolt, and it goes very, very, very wide. We'll say actually it hits and skewers one of these melons that you have released into the marketplace.
All right, great. I'm gonna try shouting out if I can to the people. Stop him! He stole.
Ooh, okay. Make a persuasion check for me, but I will give you advantage on it.
Hey.
Oh!
Hey, that's a nat 20.
Ooh, roll 20 is hot, hot, hot tonight. All right.
Don't hurt him further. Just stop him.
Hey, I missed it, I think, during the stream being down, but it looks like we got... Yeah, Kentucky Hawkeye gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much. That's a total of 75 gift subs to the channel. If you've just been gifted a sub, you have an advantage that you can gift to a player of your choice. And remember, at the moment, it is September, so subscriptions are 50% off.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Oxy. So it is Ashen's turn, and she can actually close the gap.
I love it so fast.
She can close the gap, but that's all she can do for the time being. But you hear her way out ahead of you, calling out his name again and saying, "What are you doing? Can we just talk about this?" As he, bleeding continues to go. Cadence.
God. All right. So being who I am, I imagine I have some gloves. So I'd like to hustle up as close as I can to where there might be blood from him and sort of pull out one of my 700 gloves and dip it in his blood.
Okay.
And put it in a small container and close it. Just in case we need to track him later,
Right.
Would you like me to roll a dexterity saving throw for this movement?
I would like you to actually roll a dexterity saving throw.
Excellent. I'm awful at it. There we go. Advantage would not have helped.
Okay. So basically what I will say, since you did fail, you will have your movement speed reduced by 10. So you're not going to fall or anything like that, but you just can't move your full movement. So, and I'll say scooping up a little bit of the blood, that's just a free action. So if there's anything else you want to do, you are welcome to do.
Move and dash as my standard.
Dash? Okay.
So
that means you will get 40. Yep. Okay. So the good news is, Oxy, when you called out, stop him, he stole something, A lot of heads perked up and took some notice, right? I mean, it definitely does look suspicious. He's running down the street, definitely got people in pursuit. And so with your really amazing yell of persuasion, you see several people flood into the street, basically adding them to the chase as well, trying to stop him. So the good news is you're not alone anymore. The bad news is there's now an awful lot of people in your way as they all try to get to him. So, Burback, it is your turn. Like as I said, there are now a lot of people in the way, so this is effectively going to give him some cover, but it's also going to impede his movement. What do you want to do? Oh, Scrat, you're muted.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
Okay, so like acrobatics and that is not in my wheelhouse. So I'm going to probably avoid doing anything like that. But I do have a lot of confidence in my skill with a bow. Can I like see them at least a little bit?
Oh yeah, you can see him. He's pretty tall. And he's flying a little bit, so he's raised a little bit off the ground.
Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action to dash again. Does the crowd hinder me also?
The crowd will hinder you. I will say, I'm going to have you make a dexterity check opposed by the crowd. And we will see if someone does the thing to you, or if you were able to just get by. If you win, you are unimpeded, and you can just dart back and forth amongst the crowd.
When you say dex check, do you mean straight dex?
Just, straight dex. If you have acrobatics, you can add it.
I mean, well, I have some, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm just going to give them a flat 2 bonus, and we'll see what we get. That's really bad. So you will win that. So you just dart in and out of the crowd, moving, getting your bow out. So you get your full dash. No problem there.
Boop, boop.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arrow from my quiver, but I'm going to do it real fancy. I'm going to pull the arrow out so that it flips in the air a few times as I hold back the bowstring and then catch it. Mostly because I'm being fancy and using a... Oh, wait, does it have to be a blade? I want to do a blade flourish with a bow and arrow. It just says attack action?
Yeah,
It
I'll
is-
let you do that.
Yeah? I mean, it's College of
Yeah, let's
Swords
do it.
blade flourish. I feel like I'm stretching the rules here. But, like...
I'm on. How are you gonna flourish this? Because I'm curious now.
What,
Let's
so
do- just-
what are your blade flourish options, I guess?
well, this is the thing. I'm not actually interested in the blade flourish options. I just wanted the extra 10 feet.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can have the extra 10 feet, sure.
Cool.
No problem.
I think it'd have to be some Hawkeye shit, right? Like flipping the arrow around, catching it in the thing, bouncing off of
Going, like, behind
someone.
your back.
Yeah.
You need to do the part where you like fire it without even looking.
Yeah, something like that. But well, it needs to be something like mobile because I want to get the extra movement. So maybe I like vault off of something and like take a shot in midair or something, you know?
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty of like wagons and carts and stalls. Like you can definitely vault off some barrels or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm doing like a swan dive front flip, like pulling the bow out over my head, and I'm like to fire at this person. I'm gonna use an advantage as well, just because. Hey.
Go for it.
Use it up. All right, I have one.
Wow, roll 20 is good tonight.
Love those dice.
So I mean, yeah, that's a hit.
So
Give me that.
I mean, I'm not aiming to hurt them. Would you? I mean, this isn't a rule that we've previously discussed at all, but like, I don't really want to do double damage to someone. I'm not out here trying to murder people. Could I maybe just do regular damage but be really precise? Like,
you can do regular damage if you want, and I will 100% let you call where he gets hit. I will say he is in zero danger of dying from this attack.
Okay.
So if you would like to do your full damage, you are welcome to do so.
when the DM says something like that, I feel like it's only right to hit the full damage.
We can heal him. We've got the ability. We can.
He has a small mountain of hit points.
At this moment, does what was the name? Kalik
is his name. Ashen is your friend.
Kalik. Does Kalik consider Ashen an enemy?
Well, he's running away from her too, and she has been calling, basically calling for him to stop, and he has not stopped. So I would say it definitely seems that way.
And is she within 5 feet of him?
She is within 5 feet of him. He has not gotten his turn to move yet. That's some sneak attack?
Yeah! So, quick maths. No, I'll do actual maths. 34.
Yeah, he can take that. He's fine.
I was going to do the quick maths joke, 23. Not right, but it's quick.
Oh yeah, he's totally good. So yes, you do this firing, flip shot airborne. It looks really, really cool. The arrow hits him in the back of the knee, and you hear him go ah, and he's still moving, but now he's limping. You definitely hit him in a very bad place for someone who wants to run.
I haven't removed the advantage on my screen from the overlay because of Dozer Black's donation at the beginning of the stream to the first person who uses an advantage. So there you go. Whoop whoop.
Cool. Okay. So it is his turn. He is not in a good place with all of this going on. And so he's gonna do a thing. So he's gonna move a little bit. He cannot move a lot, so he moves. You see him move forward about 20 feet, which actually takes him out of Ashen's range, but Ashen is not yet interested in attacking him. She will try to grab him. So let's see if she is successful with that. Let's see what I've got here. She will not grab him. That will be a miss. So
these dice are so hot and cold.
I know, they're very feisty tonight. So she reaches out to grab him. He moves forward on his limp, and then you see him disappear.
What? No.
Perfect. Don't worry, I have a plan, sort of.
And it is now Oxy's turn.
Great, grand. He's probably out of distance of my crossbow and not slowing down.
Well, so
Also invisible.
yeah, he's invisible at this point.
Assumedly invisible. Possibly planar transported. Who knows? Yay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have traveled in planes. It didn't look like anything like what y'all did, but
He didn't rip open a door between space-time, so let's be fair.
exactly. there was no magical flex of planar ripping.
Exactly. That is not a planar traveler I recognize. Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna keep jogging forward. Oh, but I can't see. I'm just gonna head to like the last known location, and you know, I'll roll an athletics check if I may to see if I can actually move twice and hold the form.
Okay.
Okay, I'll move twice my speed, which was at 40, which still puts me at like almost slower than everybody else. But hey,
Hey, but you're making progress.
move your legs.
You keep moving forward. Anything else you want to do? Any free actions or anything like that?
Nope, not at this moment. Nothing that would be useful to our chase scene right now.
Okay.
Those are all in fight, not in run.
So it's Ashen's turn now. And Ashen moves forward to where her cousin vanished, which is not very far for her. And then you see her sort of waving her arms, almost like she's trying to figure out where he is. And she says, Calic, we can just talk about this. And let's see if she can find him. I don't even know what I'm going to have her roll for this.
Percent die. Do you get lucky?
I'm trying to figure out like what the check on this would be. I'm going to go with wisdom, maybe, because that's perception-ish based.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she's going to find him, actually.
Yay!
So she will, you see her, reaching out, looking, and then her hand seems to hit something. Burback, you probably have the clearest view of this since you are the closest to them. And she will grab him, and she says, just stop so we can talk. But that is going to be her full action, was sort of searching. So she's got a hand out, grabbing on to what appears to be thin air. Cadence, it is your turn.
Perfect. Is there an obvious wizard in this throng?
I'm sure that there is.
I would like to very roughly grab this wizard.
Okay.
And I would like to demand and ask if he, she, or they can track people based off of items they've touched or that have come from them.
All right.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Phrasing.
I believe the answer is yes, but give me 1 second.
I can roll intimidation if that's something you want.
I mean, if you want to do this based on intimidation, absolutely, give me that.
Oh wow! Oh
You were
wow!
very intimidating. Yeah, I'll say that this is doable. So the person you stop is it's an Afridi man who looks absolutely terrified when you walk up to him and demand if he can do this. And he sort of shrinks down a little bit and he says, yes, of course. Yes.
All right, this, and I'm going to hold out my parasol, handle first, and say, there's a woman who's touched this, and I need to find her. And once you found her, can you track her to this glove? Her name is Cassandra, and I'm not really sure where she went, but it's very important because she's very good at this sort of thing.
All right, you just want me to give her the glove?
And then track the glove to us with her.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. And he'll take the items from you. He seems very relieved that you're not, like, about to attack him. Given that he just saw you hurl a javelin like 150 feet or something like that.
And I would like to command him to hurry by using the spell command. Goodness gracious. So wisdom saving throw, or it has to follow the command.
Cool. All right. Let me see what we've got for wisdom here.
From a conspicuous wizard.
From a conspicuous 3D wizard.
Random wizard goes to Cassandra. Hey, your friend, the Dragonborn, sent me to find you. Don't hurt me. Tell her not to hurt me.
Okay, my spell save is 15, but he might do it anyway.
So he passes. So what I would say is, he's standing there holding these objects, and you try to command him, and he doesn't really seem to react to it. But he looks up and he says, and he still seems very intimidated by you, and he says, "I'll do it for 25 gold."
I take out my sword of sharpness and point it at his throat and say, possibly when you return with both of them, the power soul and the woman, we can negotiate a price.
Make another intimidation check for me.
I'd love to. I'd like to use my advantage on this one, please.
All right.
Put her back. I get the feeling that Decadence is learning a little bit from us.
I'm strong like a bull.
Yeah. He shrinks a little bit more, and he says, "Oh yes, that seems fine." And he will take the umbrella and take the glove, and you see him set everything down, and he starts like pulling spell components out of his robes.
And I will move further 30 feet, and that will be my turn.
I love it.
It's a nice stroll through intimidating a fruity town, hurling javelins, as one does.
It's just an average normal day in the city of Brass.
Of course.
All right. So that is the end of that round. So we have got Kalak is still up at the front. He's invisible, but Ashen does appear to have a grip on him. Burback, it is your turn.
Why, thank you. So I can see that they have a grip on them, but that's not, I'm going to dash, bonus action dash, so that I'm, again, 60 feet closer to them. I imagine that puts me reasonably close.
It does, yes.
And then, just in case they fancy trying to run again on their turn, I'm going to cast Heat Metal on that arrowhead in their knee.
Ooh. Okay.
Mostly for the disadvantages that it gives them. That hasn't given the full spell thing there. But what it mostly does is it does the sneak attack wouldn't proc. That should only be 11 damage. But if they need to make a Constitution saving throw,
Okay.
or drop the object. If they can't drop the object because it's wedged in their knee, for example, they'll have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
That's fail. Yeah, wow, roll 20. Very feisty tonight. So he will fail that Constitution saving throw, and he will take that damage. Although it is fire damage, right?
It is fire damage, yes.
Okay.
But it's more the disadvantages that I'm interested in. They have disadvantage on attack and ability.
The damage is you probably know from watching Ashen that the damage is probably not going to really affect him. But yes, he will take the disadvantage on. Would you say it was disadvantage on
ability checks and attack rolls?
Ability and attack rolls. Cool. Awesome. Anything else for you?
I've used a bonus action, I've used an action, and all of my movement. So, no, I'm good.
All right, cool. In that case, it is his turn. He is currently with Ashen, and he will try to grapple his way out of this to try to break her hold on him. So I'm just going to roll 2d20s, and we will see which one is higher. First one is Kalak, the second one is Ashen, so he will break her hold.
He has disadvantage.
Oh, you are right. Okay. In that case, I will roll one more d20 for him.
Yes.
How glorious is that? Oh my god.
He shoots, he scores.
So Burback, you actually, since you're close enough, you kind of hear a little bit of the sound of fabric rustling or moving, and you see Ashen's arm move, and then you hear her go, "Oh no, you don't," and sort of pull him back. Or at least that's what it looks like when he's not visible. So yeah, he's going nowhere this round. Oxy, it's your turn.
How far back am I now?
Let me check here, Oxy. You are still a good 160 feet back.
Grown. Yeah, let's try, we'll do a run and run again, keeping hold tight. There's this weird, the arms are down at the side in a really weird way, grabbing the jacket, the trench coat. Kind of a weird way. And, off she goes.
Cool. So you close a little bit more of that distance.
That's gonna take a while.
Yep, you're chugging along. It is then going to be Ashen's turn, and let me see something here. Does she have the ability? She does not. Okay. So she will say to her cousin, you drop that invisibility right now, and we're going to take this somewhere private to have a conversation. And she's going to try to sort of big sister, even though she's his cousin, persuade him. And maybe she has decent, she has okay charisma, so we'll see.
Her charisma's great.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Dice are hot again. So that will be her turn. And Cadence, it is your turn now.
How far away am I?
You are, do some maths, about 80 feet, give or take.
Right.
Yeah, pretty close.
I will go another 30 feet up. And does this have to be one word? Yeah, I'll try commanding the cousin there to
Right.
I want to point to Ashen and just say obey. So that's gonna be another wisdom saving throw from him.
Wisdom saving throw? Okay.
Yeah.
What?
That's a pass, so he
will
does
pass.
not need to, yeah.
Yes, but you probably wouldn't have a great idea of whether or not he passed just because he's invisible. You can't even really see him at this juncture. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Just sort of flourish the sword threateningly, in his general direction.
Flourish in his general direction. Cool. At this point, you've been running down this street basically in the marketplace, and you hear coming from the opposite direction. So basically the direction that you were running in. So on the other side of Kalik and Ashen, you hear a voice say, what's going on here? And what looks like 2 guards of some sort. They're wearing, full armor. They have spears in their hands. Are now approaching from the opposite side. Birdback. What do you want to do? I think you might be muted if you're talking.
I will start clapping my hands. I'm going to walk towards the guards. Well done, everyone. Great training exercise. We've done real good here today. Okay, the whole release and catch. We've done absolutely great. Oh, hello there, guardsman. Nice to meet you. My name's Birdback. It's a pleasure.
The one that spoke before says, "And who are you?"
Interplanar Special Forces.
Interplanar Special. I've never heard of that before.
We're doing our job well then.
And what is your purpose here in the city of Brass?
Well, we're training with a Freety. We don't have to come to the fire plane, so we thought we'd do some urban reconnaissance. It's been brilliant.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check, Birdback. The guard seems very interested in whatever this is. He says, "So you do training exercises?"
Yes, we're actually taking recruits at the minute if you're interested. I happen to be a bit of a recruiter.
Well, that's... did we pass?
I beg your pardon?
Did we pass? Do you have advice? I mean, how can we improve the security of our city?
Oh, well, you're doing pretty well, I'd say. Your response time's pretty poor. We've been chasing this poor Ifriti for about 30 seconds. I mean, I suppose it could be worse, but in a city where people can
I feel like 30
fly,
seconds is a pretty good response time.
Well, it's pretty good, but if I was in the airplane, for example, that would be a very poor response time. They're very quick over there.
Really?
Really? Anyway, like I say, if you're interested in the Interplanar Special Forces, I can put in a good word for you. I know what it's like. I was a guardsman once myself. It's terribly boring, isn't it? Guarding statues or gates or.
Yeah. He sort of leans in like conspiratorially and he's like, "Do you have a card or something that I can reach you?"
Look, you want to go to in this plane, there is a bar in the poor end of town called the Molten Core. Go in there and ask the bartender for a Harlem Shuffle.
A Harlem Shuffle.
It doesn't make much sense in this plane, but it does somewhere.
I'll definitely be in touch. And he leans back out. And he elbows his companion and just says, kind of gives him the nod that everything's okay. And then they turn to everyone else and they say, "Nothing to see here, folks. Just a drill."
Birdback turns back to the party like.
Decadence just scooping up a spear covered in blood. Like, yeah, this is fine.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with y'all.
Oxy is just kind of like going to the crowd, like, "Good job, calm down, disperse."
Oh my
Wow.
god. Yeah. Okay. It's so it's Calic's turn next, and he does turn visible. So those of you close enough, Oxy, you can probably see this. But it's through some people, so your angle's not great. Birdback and Cadence, you're both close enough. It's better. He returns to visibility, and you can see now that Ashen has a very good, solid grip on his arm, which is why he was not able to get away. And he looks back at her and he says, We're gonna drop out of initiative order at this point, so we can say that Cadence and Oxy, if you want to catch up, that's totally doable.
Right, little hustle. There's a moment where it's like Oxy's head just kind of disappears, and then just reappears by them at some point. Like, we'll not talk about this.
And Calic is now sort of surrounded by the four of you, and he looks at Ashen and the three of you and says, "Fine. What do you want?"
Do you want to discuss it out in the open like this, or would it be perhaps more appropriate to find somewhere a bit more private?
Fine. There's a bar another street down. We can go there.
It doesn't happen to be called the Molten Core, does it? I'd like to avoid a place called that if there is one for a little while.
And Ashen looks at you, Rebecca, and she says, funnily enough, there is a bar in the city called the Molten Core. I've been there several times.
I mean, it was a good guess for a brass city where everything's made of fire.
Yeah, definitely a good. I mean, we do have a brand here, for sure.
I've heard there's lots of brands here.
But that's not the one I'm referring to, so we can... That's not the one he's referring to.
I used to know a cattle merchant. His catchphrase was always be branding.
That would make sense, I suppose. So Ashen is still got a good grip on her cousin, going to lead you down the street toward this bar, basically. And when you get there, this is definitely sort of a divey bar kind of place. Not really particularly nice. There's ale here, but it's kind of cheap and maybe not quite the level of like a rot gut type drink, but it's definitely not going to be the best thing you've ever tasted. You can tell just by the smell. And Ashen strong arms her cousin in and basically forces him to sit down at an empty table, and then sits down herself. I'm still right next to him, so she's still within like threatening range. And then motions to the empty seats.
This is usually where Cassandra comes in and starts doing the questioning.
But that's when we have to be nice. How nice do we have to be to you?
You talking to Calic?
Yeah, talking to Calic. That's Oxy leaning in.
He says, "I don't care how nice you are.
Exactly.
I just want to get out of here. So what do you want?"
Why are you running from your cousin?
And Shen puts her hands on the table and goes, "I'd like to know that too."
And the funny thing is, 1 second here. There's my intimidation check.
You're not particularly intimidating. A little bit. You have a lot of weapons. But otherwise...
I look weird. I move weird.
Especially sitting at a table.
Yeah.
The thing.
So he lets out a huffy sort of sigh, and then he says, "I had business to attend to."
Right, so we can do this one of two ways, I suppose. We could dance around the issue and sort of be vague and not really, talk about what's actually happening, or we can stop wasting our time and get straight to the point. However, we don't know you, and you don't know us, so how will we know if you're being honest?
I guess you don't.
Oh, in that, I believe you'd be quite mistaken.
Nice. Okay, so your spell save DC is a 15, you said?
Yes.
All right, so he gets a charisma saving throw.
Hope he's not half as charismatic as his cousin.
He does have good charisma. Yeah, so he will pass. But you do know that, I believe.
Yeah.
So, so you can feel that the spell doesn't seem to quite take hold in the same way as you had hoped it would, at least.
I need to buff up my charisma.
And he just gives you a smile, like because he knows that you just tried to cast a spell on him. And he says, "Guess you'll just have to take me at my word."
All right. So about dragons and favors and kidnappings and the material plane.
He says, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Lies. Liar.
Obviously. The tracks are everywhere.
You can make an insight check if you'd like.
I think that'll be my role. I'm going to be the bloodhound. I'm going to be the lie detector, okay?
Muscle, lie detector.
Very good. Yeah, he's absolutely lying. 100%.
Like when Oxy says lie, Burbeck just nods.
This is like my shocked face. This is my shocked face.
He just rolls his eyes and he says, "Fine. Do you have a particular thing you want to know?" It's kind of a large topic. See, I can make puns too.
That was totally Oxy in character, like.
I suppose is we already sort of know the why the dragon wanted the prize, shall we call it? What's in it for you?
I was just helping a friend.
The dragon's your friend?
Yes.
People can be friends with dragons. It's not that weird.
Oh,
You're no wait.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I thought you said Finn.
There's the dragon, yeah. That
Emberling is the dragon. Yes.
Umberwell, I knew that was a... There we go, got it.
He says, no, sorry. The dragon is not my friend. Faden is who I was referring to. I don't particularly care about the dragon one way or another.
So what were you helping your friend out for?
He has promised me some very nice rewards if I helped him get what he wanted, and so I did.
What is it that he wanted?
Some information from the dragon that he couldn't otherwise find.
Right, about the MacGuffins that shall not be named, shall we call them?
Yes.
And I assume you were present for this exchange?
I was present for the initial meeting. I was not present when he got the final information.
Pity. Be much more useful if you were.
I don't know why I need to demonstrate my utility.
Oh, you know, your friend just kind of seemed to leave you out to hang. Might want to, you know, display your utility to them. Sorry, go ahead, Decadence.
Quite easily trackable, by the way. We have more than one person tracking you right now, so... And the other person who's coming is quite a bit more angry about the object taken than we are.
Well, I mean, they can be angry. I Nothing I can do about it at this point.
Oh, but that's the thing. There is something you can do to help us about that. Where's Finn gone?
I don't know. I wasn't there when he found out the locations.
Oh, I didn't ask about the locations. I asked where are they? As in your friend.
He's not here.
That's not with you?
No.
So if you don't know anything of any sort of use or importance, why were you running?
He asked me to do something before he left, and I was reminded of it when I saw you.
The taking of the object of something different.
Something different.
You know, it could heal you from the javelin and the arrow and the heated metal bit.
You want to be careful with an arrow in the knee like that. You might only end up being able to be like a guardsman.
He'll actually just bend down and reach out and pull out the arrow and set it on the table. And you can see it's covered in thick, almost Icarus type of blood. It's definitely not human. I mean, he's not human. And he'll drop it on the table. And he says, I'll heal.
Why did I make my spells so useful and helpful?
Burback, go ahead and give me another insight check if you would. Okay.
Bad roll for me.
Still a pretty good roll though, overall. He's definitely not lying when he says that he had something to do, and he's definitely not lying when he says it didn't have anything to do with directly with finding whatever these objects are. But you're fairly certain he's lying about knowing where Faden went.
The thing is, I reckon you do know where Finn went. I reckon you're trying to hide something. Perhaps for Umberwell, perhaps for Finn, I'm not sure. Or maybe you're just worried that we'll find out something that'll make us, I don't know, really mad or something. Which is it?
I barely know you. I mean, how would I know what would make you mad?
Well, if you found out that one of our...
Hello.
So then, that would mean that you're hiding something for either Umberwell or Finn. Process of elimination.
Maybe.
What's at stake? What are you protecting?
I'm protecting my interests. He's promised me quite a bit in the way of a reward, and so far I don't see any reason not to help him.
Eshin?
She'll turn to you and she says, yes.
How much do you like your cousin?
Well, up until today I liked him quite a bit, but revising that opinion a bit.
Do you require them to have you require him to have his fingers if you're still gonna like him?
Cadence takes out sword.
Or toes? Or hand? Nose? Ooh, nose is always a fun one.
Oh, this can actually cut off any limb. It's very nasty if I get a good hit on with it.
I mean, we don't want to wreck family connections and relationships. We're very vital. But I mean, considering what this person helped do.
Oh no! See, that's the best part. See, I can heal and then just do it again. So it won't cause lasting damage, of course,
Now, look,
Cadence, go ahead and make an intimidation check for me.
Do we get an advantage?
Yeah, I'll let you take the advantage
Oh,
on
thank
that.
God.
Yeah.
Thank God, Emmett.
I'll let you take the advantage for how casual you were being about it. Like, yeah, I've totally done this a lot. Like,
I'm sure Cadence has had a fair share of just sort of lopping off limbs when necessary.
now, look,
and go ahead, Rebecca.
Karlek, as you can see, Oxy and Cadence are quite excited about the idea of doing all of this. But if you just cooperate with me and tell me the things that we all want to know, and all the things we don't want to know, just tell us everything, really, I'm sure we can make sure that they don't have to get a little overzealous.
Oxy's hands are on the table, but like a little sword just kind of appears up beside it through them, and her hands don't move otherwise. It's just like...
Khaled definitely seems to flinch a little bit. This is probably not what he bargained for. And he says, okay, look. I'll tell you what I was doing, and you let me go.
How about you tell us and we'll decide how useful it is first before we decide on the let you go part. I'm sure your cousin has questions for a lot of things.
You see your Shen just sitting there with her arms crossed, like,
remember, your cousin's letting us do this to you.
Okay, fine. It really can't hurt at this point. All right. When we got back, Faden asked me to come back to his apartment here in the city and make sure that all of his paperwork was destroyed. Everything, all of his research, all of his notes, he wanted it gone. He had a feeling that he would end up getting followed or pursued in some fashion, and he didn't want anyone getting that information. So I was supposed to go destroy all the material, and I didn't do it right away because I wanted to go have a drink and relax and unwind a little bit. We did just go raid a town, and it's not really the sort of thing I do a lot. And I sort of forgot about it, and when I saw you and I saw Shen, I remembered, and so there it is.
Whoops.
Is that valuable to you?
Oh, yes, because you're going to show us where you're supposed to go next.
You mean his apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least give us the address. That would be suitable.
No, so you're going to show us because if there's traps or something set up, or you lied to us about the address, we'll make sure you don't do that again.
Fine. So if I take you there and I make sure you get in, I can go.
Type of documents? All of them? Like every record ever?
I don't know what all he has in there. I've only been there once or twice. He just told me to destroy everything.
Burback, do you find this acceptable? Shall I keep my sword out?
Well, seeing as we're in, a bar and it's quite a public place, perhaps we should stop brandishing weapons. But I guess it's acceptable.
Very well.
Oxy, what do you think?
I think this will work out delightfully well. Ashen?
She looks at Khaled and she says, I can't believe you did this. How stupid do you have to be? Yes, let's go take a look at all these documents, and hopefully we find something that can help you track this person down and get your friend back. I feel terrible. And she's looking particularly at you, Cadence. I feel awful that this idiot, who happens to be related to me, was involved in this.
You know, not all things are passed down in the family.
Thank God for that.
You shouldn't be ashamed of your relations and just sort of stuck with them. It's the choices of company you make that really define who you are.
I couldn't agree more.
As you hang out with two very troublesome criminal element types.
I
The person who has smooth talked their way through several dubious social encounters.
Hi.
Goodness. Goodness.
You say criminal elements, never been charged.
True. Neither of us.
But if it happens, I will be right there. Probably posting your bail, you know, or killing people for you. I don't know.
I could probably
So,
talk
shall
my
we-
way around it.
Sure.
And I'll just
Yeah,
look
no,
different, that's all.
Right, so no funny business.
No funny business.
Insight check.
Do we got rope? Shackles?
I have rope.
Brabak, he definitely seems like he just wants to get out of this situation. And if getting you there and getting you inside will get him out of the situation, then he's going to do it.
Whoop.
Right, well, I've definitely got rope and I know a thing or two about tying knots.
Do we really have to do this? I said I would take you.
Burback,
Hey.
the choice is yours.
I think he's being genuine.
Alright then. We've got our eyes on you, though.
That's fine. All right, come on then. And assuming you come on,
Yep.
he takes you back out onto the street and sort of does a circuitous loop along the outer side of this market that you were in, and leads you down a little bit deeper into this particular district of the city. So if you recall, you were in the market district that's near the harbor, and you can sort of see the harbor down in the distance. If you remember, this is like a big bowl almost, where everything in the center is lower and everything on the outer around the outer wall is higher up. So it's not hard to see where the harbor is because it's up there. And he turns right a little bit, taking you around the outer edge of the harbor itself, until you come to a small building. You're definitely in an area of town that is still very, very diverse. It's actually mostly non-Afridi here. The sort of neighborhood where perhaps all of the people who've come here from other planes are living, or for whatever reason or whatever business they have in this plane. And this particular building, it's not very big. There's a little shop front with like a little cafe almost out front. And then there's a staircase that goes up to the sort of apartment above it. And Khaled stops in the street corner and points up at the apartment above and says, "That's his place, there."
Alright.
How to get in then? Is it just unlocked or?
I mean, he's a wizard, so I assume there's some kind of lock, but he didn't specify. I was going to have to figure that out.
All
So you're prepared to figure it out.
I've known a few wizards in my time. They all focus on doors, arcane locks, all of that sort of business. I'm gonna have a quick look. Is there a window?
There is a window.
Is there a brick?
Is there a what?
Like a half brick?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Like a half brick, like a brick.
Sure.
Or the half brick through the window.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Sure. Using Dex?
Yeah, using Dex, it's a ranged attack. You're throwing a brick.
Definitely not proficient though. That'll be a 12.
That's enough. I mean, the window's not moving or anything, so you,
The window has armor.
in full view of everyone in the street, you pick up a brick and chuck it at the window, and there's a shattering of glass.
Loudly, I say, I thought so. Not even reinforced glass. Alright, let's go.
How dare. They're not ready.
Look, if you two want to head in, I'll stay out here and smooth over anyone who asks questions. I didn't really think this through.
Right. Ashen, would you like to come with us, or would you like to escort your cousin home? I will admit I did send someone to be fetched that is being led to him, so perhaps it's better if he stays out with Burback.
I think I will leave Kalak here with Burback and come with you, just in case. Might be worth. I can see magic to some extent, so that may be helpful in a wizard's
It's a good talent.
apartment.
All right, Oxy, up you go.
Yes.
The boosts.
Scramble, 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 scramble.
Yeah, Oxy, give me that athletics check. And climb up to the second story window. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Looks a little bit like a caterpillar almost.
Because it always does.
But you do eventually reach the window and pull yourself in. And
rope
Okay.
down to decadence.
Ashen, would you like to go first?
she will look up at the rope and the window, and she says, "No, you go. I've got this."
I just wanted a quick word with Burback, very briefly.
Oh well, in that case, and you see her.
Like go to help her up, and I'm sure she has some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, so she doesn't actually go for the rope. You see her just sort of turn into mist, basically, and the mist flies up and in through the window, and recoalesces into a Shen, and she just sort of, "I'm fine, thank you."
Misty
Though.
step.
Perfect.
Ash's form, actually, but
Oh. So cool.
still cool.
Burback, will you be all right down here by yourself? I know that you're good at the whole talking thing, but having that one next to you might detract a bit.
Well, I'll probably be okay. I mean, they saw us earlier, and I'm pretty good at smoothing things over. I've met a few of the guards now. They seem quite nice, suitably gullible.
All right. I'm just going to very, very quickly. I saw a place in the market on the way in. I mentioned I had to buy something, so I'm just going to dash over and I'll be right up.
Cadence, hardly the time, don't you think? We can do that before we leave.
But it sort of seems like I'm not very good at looking at things. I'm more good at,
What if there was someone up there waiting in trap, and they're all up there captured?
All right. But I will do it. I need to do it before we leave. Right?
We will definitely do it before we leave. What exactly is it that you want to...
It's nothing important. It's just something for Cassandra, like I said, just because she doesn't like the stealing, and it just sort of seems, like we should probably make sure that she gets something on the up and up.
You want to buy a ring or something of like...
No, not a ring. That's preposterous. No, of course not. Just sort of something to,
I meant a magic ring. Get your mind out of the love gutter.
No, I know, but she doesn't seem like the type to wear much jewelry, just sort of more of a fancy.
You're putting a lot of thought into this, Cadence.
I'm going up the rope, okay? So we don't ever have to talk about this again. And we won't ever talk about it again. And I'm going to go up there and save people from traps, and you're going to stay down here and fix the window. All right?
All right.
All right, thank you. Right.
They start humming Smoke Gets in Your Eyes.
Cadence, you come up the rope as well, into this this room, and of course, Oxy, you've been up here with Ashen for a few minutes. So,
Yeah.
what you're essentially looking at is, it's not quite a wizard's laboratory. It doesn't look like he's really been here long enough for that, or that even that was really what he was interested in. More like a wizard's study. There are an awful lot of books cast around here, just stacked on the floor, on the desk in the corner. He doesn't really have bookshelves, just kind of like tables. They're stacked there too. Some of them are still open. And in amidst all of these books, there are also notebooks and scraps of paper, just kind of haphazardly strewn about. He does not seem like a very neat person, and it definitely looks like when he left, he didn't have any time to clean or tidy up or anything in here. There's a little bed in one corner, like a little, like a cot, basically. It's all one room. There's a fireplace, and on one side, you don't see any clothing or anything like that. So he appears to have taken that with him wherever he's gone. And what's left is really just all these books. Like there's a solid maybe 70 or 80 books in here. I mean, it's a not insignificant number.
Great. Please tell me we don't have to go through every single one of these.
Well, there's the books, and then there's also his notes.
Oh no.
And as you're standing there, Oxy, Shen looks over at the desk. So the cadence is like right before you come in, or as you're coming in the window. As Shen looks over at the desk and points to one of the notebooks and says, "That one must be important."
All right. Why?
Because I can see abjuration magic sitting on top of it.
Oh.
Powerful,
Oh, lovely.
powerful abjuration magic.
Fantastic. Let's. I wonder if it'd be trapped. Well. How are we gonna crack that open then, or pick it up? See if you can
Unfortunately, it's not something I can really help with. And she looks at the two of you.
Cadence, anything you've got for dealing with magic traps?
Burback is the one that has the magic hand to deal with the magic traps. Oh, I could get an unseen servant out here who could possibly handle it.
Sounds good. It's more making sure it doesn't trigger and burn the book.
Oh, no, I can't really dispel any sort of magic. Oh, wait, yes, I can. I'm stupid.
Oh.
It's right in my spell list. I just can't
You're not
read.
Stupid, just concerned. You're just confused. It's all right. It happens.
All right, so, do you think I should dispel it? Can I just look at it first?
I mean,
Oh.
it's,
Go ahead.
Not touching.
I don't know for sure. I mean, it's on the journal itself. It's not on the table or the desk, but I don't know if picking it up would trigger it or not.
Okay.
And that's kind of my concern. I don't know what's gonna do.
Okay, so you are casting Dispel Magic right now?
Mhm.
Right here, right now? Okay. I am going to need you to make a check for this.
The DC is going to be 17.
Okay. And that's the charisma.
Or
the spellcasting.
Your spellcasting ability, so it'll just be whatever your charisma bonus is.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you summon up all of your magical prowess to cast this dispel magic spell, and you hear a Shen beside you sort of let out a sigh of relief, and she says, "Cadence, it's gone. I think it's safe to pick up now."
Yes. You don't need to worry so much, and I'll sort of almost pat. Dear, Oxy, would you like to?
Oh, sure. Let me. I'll head over there and do so, and I'll. May I do any check with a sleight of hand to make sure there's not non-magic things around it?
Yeah, sure. I would say to see if there's anything non-magical, I'd do perception or investigation, whichever one you want.
I'll try perception because wow, my investigation sucks. That's not much better.
Nothing there.
It's not negative, but
Nothing there.
all right. No, seems fine. Let's pick it up then.
Okay, yeah, you pick it up. This is a tan leather-bound journal of some kind. You can see that there's like loose leaf papers also stuffed into the sides of it.
Wow.
But it's unmarked. It's pretty plain looking.
All right.
Pick it up.
Bring it over to the group that's there and kind of crack it open, start looking through. I'm like, all right, let's see if this is a journal at all or magic notes.
Cadence and Oxy, go ahead and give me investigation checks as you page through this notebook.
Grown.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. The book seems to be written in some kind of code, and that's not really either of your specialties. So you're not really able to get a whole lot out of it. Loosely, it definitely seems like this has something to do with those magical artifacts that you learned about from Emberlung. You see a couple of things that look like mentions of those in amongst the coded notes. You see what looks like a couple of maps, and the maps are not encoded. So those are definitely, you can look at those for sure. You primarily are looking at maps of the plane of air and the plane of Earth. And you see, you also find sort of buried in some of the later pages, a map of what appears to be somewhere toward the center of the elemental plane. So I think it was Eshen earlier who told you that you can actually cross through the area where all of the planes meet at the center. She called it the epicenter, but that is a very dangerous and unstable place because of all of the meeting of elements that are counter to each other. So fire and water meeting, or air and earth. Not a particularly safe area. And you see this map in the later parts of the book that is of that area, and it's actually labeled as the epicenter. And then you can see some of those coded notes. So there's definitely some kind of interest there that he had in that area. But you'd have to spend some more time with the book to try to break down this code if you wanted to figure out what's going on.
Well, I mean, we can see about taking it with us when we find Cassandra and getting it down to Burback.
Sounds reasonable.
So go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, was there anything else in those papers, Ashen, that you think would be useful?
She looks over everything and she says, "Well, I don't see any more magic on the papers, just some magic on the door, which is honestly not surprising. Whatever it was he wanted to protect was definitely in this journal. But I mean, it might be worth looking through the books just to see I mean, just to see what they are, I guess. I mean, that's up to you. It's your friend. I don't know what.
How many pounds of books are there?
Oh.
Like 70 books, so a lot. I don't know, what does the average book weigh? A couple pounds? So at least double that in terms of poundage here. There's I would say there's at least 150 pounds of books. Are you checking how much you can carry?
Yes. What is my strength score?
I would love it if you were able to pick up all of these books and take them with you.
Let's see. I can carry 300 pounds, and all I've got is a couple weapons and my very heavy armor, but pretty sure I could do about 160 pounds of books.
Then I will say, for the sake of ease, that you have enough strength to carry all these books. Now, how you are going to carry them all, I do not know.
I do have 50 feet of hempen rope, so I'd like to start doing that thing where you tie it all together, you know.
You're just making like little book bundles, like with these ropes.
Of course, and then I can just sort of do the grocery store one trip thing where you sort of waddle down with all of them sort of hanging off your arms.
Oh my god. Are you going out the window with these, or are you going to try to go through the door?
You know, I might just go through the door. I can, I can try to dispel whatever magic is there.
Yeah. That definitely seems like an option.
All right, let's try to dispel magic on the door.
All right, let me see here. You don't even need a check for that. You are all good. So,
Oxy, can you help me tie some of these? This might take a bit.
Yeah, I will. Sure, we're starting a library, are we?
Right, sort of all hands on deck, you know, just in case we have some time while we're traveling, or if somebody knows a faster way to sort through all these.
Let's secure those books well with some sleight of hand noddings.
Sure. Yeah, you can help her shore it up. You see all the spots where it looks like a book is about to topple out of the ropes, and add a little bit of extra.
Making like a little rope net out of this with the books. Like a little knapsack thing, or like the little rope knapsack things that people used to carry, where it's like wrap the book in them and wrap it around. And...
As someone who loves books, I am like, horrified and delighted by this image of you out 70 books strapped to your shoulders. Okay, so Burtback, you're outside, and you are there with Kalik, who's standing very grumpily with his arms crossed, as your companions go up into the building. Is there anything you want to do?
When they're all in, I'll cast Mending on the window.
Okay.
We can just open it now and close it otherwise.
So all the glass kind of moves up from the street back to the window and re-solidifies into...
I hope they think to bring the brick out. But shouldn't be a problem. So, Kalik, where are you going for your holidays?
And he says, after this, I'm going to need a long one.
Anywhere but here.
Anywhere, exactly. Anywhere but here. At least for a little while.
I imagine the water plane's quite fun.
Water and I don't really get along, as you might imagine.
Oh, it just adds to the fun, because all of them extreme water sports, you know. More dangerous for you, I imagine.
Unpleasant. More so than dangerous. Not something I really enjoy. I think if I was going to go vacationing somewhere, I would go to the plane of air.
I don't know. I've heard flighty reviews.
He says, oh, well, it's very uplifting.
Oh, no. Oh, no. They're going to bond over puns.
I mean, that's rather neither here nor there.
Well, I mean, it's a nice place to go and unwind.
Oof. Oof.
I can play this.
Oh, no doubt. This is great. This is like... I'm just worried now that Burbank's gonna make a new friend of this person that was our enemy previously. It's like, oh no. No.
Burbank just sort of like sits for a while.
Okay, then in that case, a few minutes later, you see Cadence and Oxy and Ashen coming down the stairs from this apartment, and Cadence is carrying a small mountain of books
Got the brick.
on her shoulders.
Oh. Can I just look at their knotmanship?
No, I didn't roll a knot roll. Not good.
I mean, you had Oxy straightening up your not so good knots in the back, so you're okay. It's a little precarious, and some of those books are shifting a little bit worryingly, but nothing has fallen yet. As you come down the stairs, and Calyx sees you coming in with this mountain of books and just rolls his eyes and says, "All right, are you satisfied?"
I think we are. Are we satisfied? Have you got? Did you find useful things?
Oh, something in here has to be useful. We also found a journal. Oxy, did you grab that? Or Ashen?
Right here, along with the brick.
So
I don't know if any of this is useful, to be honest.
Well, if nothing else, you can start your own library.
Or we could always sell it, for startup funds.
Have you ever tried
All
to run a
options-
bookshop? Might be there a while.
Calyx says, "Can I go then? Do I still need to be here?"
Well, I think it was a pleasure speaking to you, actually. And it'd be a shame to see you go. But yes, you've been rather helpful.
Oh, just one moment, and I will lay on hands for, let's say 30 points.
Okay. That's good. Gets him back pretty close to full. So you do that, and you see the wound in his knee mostly closes up. He's still like a little bit of a mark there, but it definitely looks like it happened, 3 months ago instead of 30 minutes ago.
Woohoo.
And then I'd like to look for the wizard who's supposed to be finding us.
The wizard has not yet appeared. So no, you're not sure yet what's going on with Cassandra, but hopefully she'll be back soon.
Right, so if some wizard comes with someone named Cassandra, they're with us, they'll be able to find us probably.
You gave Cadence, you gave one of your gloves to
Soaked in his blood.
Oh, right. Gotcha. All right. Okay. Then we will go ahead and cut there. And hopefully Cassandra will rejoin you next week, we hope. But we will end with you having recovered this journal and mountain of books. And next week we'll figure out what to do with them.
Oh boy.
My mind unraveling so soon.
Right? It's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna need to have a storage locker here in the fire plane.
For these books made of flammable dead trees.
Yep.
I mean, it could work out, actually. If we put in the name of Traveler's Trinkets, we might actually end up accidentally starting a franchise.
Hey. Here we go. Done.
Well, here we are at the end of the show, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along. Again, Shamerin couldn't be with us this week, but they'll be back next week. We have credits to exit out on, so I'll just ask you all to check out these closing links as I put them in the bot there. It includes all the places you can go and find us, support us, find and interact with our community and us and talk and all that good stuff. Also check out our sponsors, Bird and the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press, to whom we're very grateful to because they make this all possible. Sorry for some of the stream issues today. I don't know what was going on there. It looked like it was some kind of OBS issue because when I restarted OBS it seems fine. So apologies for that. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed the show. We'll be back in half an hour with Apotheosis, where we're about to take on a giant snake, or world serpent, you know, same diff. We'll be back here at the same time next week for more Choir of Elements. Until next time, everyone, keep on evoking emotions. Bye.